Algerians are heading to the polls this Thursday to elect a new parliament. All 407 seats of the People's National Assembly are up for grabs. 7 years after the pro-democracy Hirak protests, turnout is likely to be a particular focus. According to official figures, turnout in the 2021 parliamentary election was 23%, a historic low. Earlier, I spoke to France 24's Claire Paccalin, who's covering the vote for us in Algiers.
Expect the President Tebboune to vote later on in the morning. It's a school, but it's the summer holidays, so the children are not there. And I will, of course, be giving you updates from here throughout the morning. Now, more than 24 million Algerians can vote in this election. The Algerian diaspora, so Algerians living abroad, they've actually already started voting. They started voting on Saturday. They have 12 members of parliament that represent them of that 407-seat lower house of parliament. And we've seen in Algiers, as we've been walking and driving around, campaign posters of the candidates, but also the National Election Authority, the ANI, has printed out posters encouraging Algerians to actually vote. On the posters you can read, "Go and vote, participate, be a decider, be someone who decides." And special authorization has been given to workers so they can vote today and not lose out on pay. That's become customary now. That's something that's happened in previous elections. We've also seen, though, that the public transport system, the buses, are free in Algiers today so that people can go and accomplish their national duty. That's the words of the Interior Ministry. We're expecting provisional results in this election to be available this evening.
Right, well, as you say, over 24 million are eligible to vote, but what's the expectation regarding turnout?
Well, 5 years ago, following the Hirak protest movement, turnout was extremely low. It was seen as extremely low at 23%. And that is a way for Algerians who feel that the political system and the political offer doesn't represent them. Not voting is a way for them to say, it's like protesting. It's like saying there's nothing here on offer that represents us, so we just won't even go to the polling stations at all. There is a big difference between the older generations and the younger generations. So older generations are far more likely to vote than younger generations. The FLN is the party that's been dominating Algerian politics now since independence. And so there is a difference between younger people and older people when it comes to whether or not they're likely to cast a ballot. And there's also variation as to where you are in the country. There's different parts of the country which are more likely to vote or not than others. What we have seen, though, is that 5 years ago there were several opposition parties which boycotted the vote altogether. But this time round, they are taking part. So the RCD, as well as the FFS, as well as the Workers' Party, they are taking part this time round, partly because electoral reforms have meant that if they boycott 2 elections in a row, they risk being shut down. That's a reform that came in earlier this year. But also some of those opposition candidates saying that rather than boycotting, they think this time round they need to take part to actually be relevant, to be part of the political landscape. But it's no easy task encouraging people to vote because, as I said, many in the younger generations feel that the political offer just does not represent them. We are expecting participation results from the National Electoral Authority, from the ANI, to be given throughout the day gradually as Algerians vote in these parliamentary elections.